Everyone, it's Tina here for Kat Scrappiness. Today I want to show you the new set that is out for April. It's called Swatches. This is perfect to make your swatches for all your inks and markers and pencils and all kinds of things. So today we're going to showcase on how to make swatches. And I'm going to be using the Distress Oxide inks because when they're dry, it's one color, and then when you ink it when you splash water on it, the color changes. It can lighten, it can even change a little bit of the color. So I wanted to see dry and wet on the same swatch card. So we're going to get started. So the first thing you want to do is you want to print out your templates. There are some online, but I did make mine using a design software, and I've labeled them and I put them in squares only because I'm going to cut them inside. I don't want to see the squares. And so you want to print it on cardstock, and then you want to cut it out and trim it. So my cards are ready to go. And so I'll show you how to use the stamp to create your swatches. So first I'm going to ink up the circle, which is going to go on this side, and that's going to be the one where I'm going to place the watercolored Distress Oxide. And I'm going to use Versafine to stamp that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that's good. So now I'm going to ink up the ink splatter with the dry ink, and I'm going to use the cracked pistachio. And I will do this one or two more times because I don't always get a good inked impression the first time with Distress Oxide. Okay, so we're pretty much ready to go. I would let it dry just a little bit. I just don't want the black to go into the water-colored Distress Oxide. So we're gonna let it dry. But what you can do is do all the circles first on all your swatches, and then you can go and do your colors, let them dry, and then come back and do the watercoloring. And this is basically to do on a rainy day or when you're feeling in a creative slump. This is something, a project that you can do to get you out of that slump. So I'm gonna let it dry, and I'm gonna come right back. So now my swatch card is ready to do the watercoloring part of it. So I'm taking the Distress Oxide cracked pistachio and placing it on an acrylic block. And I'm going to dip a water brush into the water, mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to apply it to the center of the circle. And I'm doing this because, again, when it's wet, it often has a lighter color, or the color can change. And so when I'm doing projects, especially backgrounds, I want to know what it's going to look like wet, with water. And this way I can avoid mixing the wrong colors. And I'm going to show you a close-up. So that's how I do all my swatch cards. This is a wonderful way of keeping track of your inks, dry and wet. And I really need to thank Kat Scrappiness for coming out with this wonderful swatch stamp set. You can do so many different kind of swatch cards. This one in particular could be for markers and wet paint, and even coloring pencils. And this would be for your inks directly. And of course I use this one with the splat, the paint splat, to have the wet and the dry together on the same card. So here are some colors that are finished. They are in a 9-pocket sheet protector. This is usually used for artist trading cards, and they store wonderfully. So this is a great way to keep everything together, and I'm just going to show you the close-up of some of the colors that I've done, just to show you that there is a difference between wet and dry. And I want to thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. If you want 10% off your next order at Kat Scrappiness, use code TINA10. Thank you. Bye.